Nice victory over EU for NA and Team Fire. That is 100 points in the bank there. Bjergsen, first question to you, though. Here in Spain, how does it feel to betray the homeland and play for NA?
I don't think I'm a betrayer. You know, we still won. There's still Rainover and I. We both played in Europe, so Europe still won.
There you go. I like that. I like that. All right. But then when it came to prepping, you know, this match and All-Stars in general, especially given the patches and having to play with, you know, players from other teams, what was the strategy and prep like? Was there much of any of it, or was it really just I'm going to play what I want to play and try and style on kids?
We talked a little bit about what was good because we came into this tournament and obviously everyone wants to have fun. But I think the way all of us have fun is by winning because we're competitors, right? So we all want to like troll around. I want to play Zed, but what really makes me happy is winning. So we still came in with the mindset to win.
All right, so winning obviously the goal still, but in an event like this, as compared to say Worlds or, you know, even in your own region in NA competing for the finals, you know, what's the pressure level difference? Do you feel like you're a lot looser here on stage and you have kind of the freedom to go for some of those bigger plays that you wouldn't necessarily go for in other situations?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure everyone saw me trying to flash and do the sombrero on Mithy and fail and die and almost throw the game, but yeah, I think here I can just enjoy the event. You know, when we walk on stage for the introduction, I can just feel the moment and really enjoy the moment. I don't have to worry about whether we lose, you know, can we still advance out of groups and all this stuff. You know, we already lost groups. It's fine. So here, it's all about the experience and having fun. So even though the matches are competitive, I'm here to enjoy it.
Although when we talk about pressure, we have to remind everyone at home that you are the reigning champion from the 1v1s of last year. So if there's going to be pressure coming from anywhere, it's going to be in that situation right there. So I've got to ask you, how much thought have you given to the 1v1 tournament specifically, you know, as an individual on defending your title?
I've done some theory crafting and 1v1ing some of my teammates on the NA Team Fire team. And I think honestly it all comes down, or most of it comes down to kind of theory crafting and figuring out what runes, masteries, and champions are strong, and then executing is another deal, but I think I'm just going to go back right now and play a bunch of 1v1s until I know what's good so I can win the tournament again.
That's what we like to hear. Well, we look forward to watching you play in the 1v1s. Congratulations again on the victory here to kick off the tournament. Now we're going to throw it up to the desk to talk about that game.
Thank you so much, Dash. Wow, good insight there from Bjergsen. The way to win is winning, and they net 100 points for NA.
Turns out winning is fun.
And good for winning.
Let's have more fun.
Yeah, let's win more. Let's see. Yeah, well, he was talking about in this game specifically, you don't have that much pressure, but he did pull out some good plays, Orianna, for him, for Bjergsen, and up against Pick's Ahri.
Yeah, it was really solid. Even without teleport, he still kind of had more successful roams against the Ahri. I mean, the pick of the Orianna as well. At this point, you look at the bans, the Rise, the LeBlanc out of the way.
Oh.
And then they set up a beautiful play like this. We were looking at Europe having advantages. The roams early down to bottom side. They get the Rengar Shockwave combination off. And as Deficio was saying on the cast, that's what should have been the European play. But
yeah,
unfortunately, NA just go, okay, well,
especially because they were smashing in CS and had lots of lane pressure, but NA did strike faster. They lost a bunch of turrets early on in the game, so the game itself was actually pretty close. But
then the mayhem started.
Yeah, the question is also in these things, do we praise good plays or do we like make fun of people for not flashing shockwaves?
50-50, 50-50.
It's both right here. And I thought Bjergsen was pretty much the top performer, even though he had double lift with 13 kills, specifically that crazy thing he did in the mid lane where he just one-shot Mithy while being chased down by 4 people. And also, it was his roams that put Soaz behind, and it was his roam that won the bottom lane. So Bjergsen actually kind of won the whole match.
Yeah, this crazy some nice action in the mid lane.
Yeah, this was one of the actual plays that Europe kind of started and went a lot more successfully.
Looking good.
And
yeah, looking
the problem
great.
is it kind of falls apart after a while because this is the problem with like Impact being so tanky, with the Courage of the Colossus, his own shield built in, and just
and then this, he gets away.
This is the play I was talking about earlier. I mean, instant burst on a Mithy. Mithy isn't able to flash in time, and then he flashes right to where he just killed the guy, so he's got a little bit of freedom. And I think the underrated part of this play actually is, well, I was going to be Impact coming in and trying to block, like Jankos being able to take his tunnel in later for Bjergsen, gave him that little bit more time to be able to get away. And then, yeah, this is where it was pretty much over for Ice.
Yep, and they will end up dropping like flies as well because they weren't able to kill off Bjergsen, sadly, and 100 points that nets for Team Fire and the NA LCS contributing.
We're going to drill this point system so everyone understands what's happening.
The first one is to 1,000 points wins. I don't know if you know this,
There
Chad.
are 1,950
on the line. Yes.
On the line. We have a whole 100 of them assigned.
All right.
We are so close to a conclusion here.
But what I wanted to jump off is that with this performance, and we've talked a lot about, the popularity vote over in EU and then really strong players rather on NA coming on, are you starting to see trends? Because I think that this might spell a bit of the rest of the things we might see in Fire versus Ice, because they also have LCK in Team Fire.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's kind of tough to draw a conclusion from one game, but
No,
what I
do
will
it!
say is I don't think it was necessarily the vote itself, but the fact that NA actually looked coordinated and went,
Yeah.
okay, well, this is how we make these plays. We all know how to do it. Let's just practice it, and seemed to pay off a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the NA players being the best, but like they're also the most popular. So NA has the benefit
Double.
of having their popular players also be their best players. So
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break, but before we go, a reminder that you can show your team colors on Summoner's Rift. Team Fire and Ice icons are now available in client and until December 14th. They will include a themed emote and recall. We did see a couple of the Fire members spamming the emotes against their enemies before as well, and they look fantastic in game.
yeah, those
Now,
are pretty awesome.
Yeah, they look awesome. There's some really cool ones. I think it's Graves who in his face he becomes like a snowman, and there's all snow, and it's good. It's funny. You should check it out.
I will definitely check it out.
Up next, sharpshooters. Get excited. We have a marksman mode battle coming up right after this.
That'll be cool too. Marksman mode, check it out. Maybe we see Graves. Definitely.
You know the team that wins every scrim just loses, right?
Oh shit, please, no.
So those are the ones going to be making the play. Enchanted Crystal Arrow, and Eframu goes down for first blood.
We're going. We're gonna dive. I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go on Ash. Oh shit. I think I don't need. Yeah, you don't need. Good job, guys.
This was a fight that Europe started, but it's North America that's ending it. Soaz goes down. 4 kills to North America.
Slowly on the yeah. Okay, so that's good. Nice.
This is the slowest kill ever. Reckless. Taken down. Team Fire secure themselves 100 points. Compliments of the North American